Welcome back to Candy's Classic Game Shrine, everyone. You're probably all wondering why the hell you're looking at the back of a TV right now, and I'm about to explain. This is my Sharp NES TV, and I'm going to be doing a DIY on how to take apart the game unit and how to replace the pin connectors. Now, once I get to how to replace the pin connectors, that is pretty much the same for any NES. And you can apply it to the regular one, this, you know, all those good ones. This is going to be a first for me, as it is going to be a first for many of you watching. So, without further ado, let's get started. I have the manual open, if you can take a peek at my laptop right there. So I'm not going into this completely blind, only semi-blind. Now, there's going to be 6 screws that I have to undo on this part before I can take apart the bottom part. I'm going to have the 2 here, and then there's going to be 4 right there. And they are Phillips head screwdrivers Phillips head screws for anybody wondering. Now I'm trying to find the correct bit. It's also kind of difficult because my dog is pretty much sitting on top of me while sitting behind me. That's too small. Pro tip for anyone, make sure you use a magnetic tip. You're most likely going to lose them if you don't. And nobody wants to do that. Now, again, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is completely nerve-wracking. When you work with CRTs, you run the risk of getting a shock. They say that's a bit overstated. However, my entire existence is to prove that Murphy's Law exists. Now, if you don't know what Murphy's Law is, the short and simple of it is anything that can go wrong will. And that's just the story of my life. Now, in theory, there should be 2 more screws. And it feels like there's 2 more screws. Finding them is going to be a completely different story, because as you saw, that's where they are. And I don't know, that kind of looks like duct tape in there to me. Knowing my uncle, it probably is duct tape. Yep, this is like 1980s duct tape. So I take back what I said. It looks like my uncle did attempt to take this apart, but it doesn't look like he succeeded all that well. I guess that would explain how he broke the frickin' power and reset button on the face of this. However, looks like the screws are still in there. And they're not stripped, so that's a good sign. Okay guys, since it was really difficult to video all the way at the bottom, there were the other screws that we just took out, and right underneath are screws 1 and 2 that would be here. I took this screw out and it kind of fell in that hole there despite my magnetic tip. I accidentally knocked it off, but this one was successfully recovered, and there it is. We're gonna toss that in the bin with the others, and now this entire plate should, in theory, come off. Let's get you guys a good look. This is the inside of a Sharp NES TV, at least model 19 SV111. There's your speaker. That's the giant tube. I am terrified, guys. This is quite foreign to me, because I missed in the manual that you had to remove 5 different cables, which I really should have paid attention. That's my own fault, but here they are right here. I have pictures that I'll be sharing where you can find these on the actual board, because getting in there with the camera is a little bit of a hassle. Conveniently, these are all labeled with the corresponding number and letter that they are. So just finding the locations is pretty easy. They made this very repair friendly, knock on wood. So now that this is all finished, I'm going to turn this back upside down, and we should be able to remove the game unit after removing the 4 screws on the top. So let's get that done. Alrighty guys, now we're going to unscrew the 4 screws that are here, 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 and here. Then this entire bottom piece will come off. We detached all the wires from before. Now in theory this should lift off if none of this stupid crap gets stuck. And there we are. Okay everyone, what you're staring at is the game unit to the Sharp NES TV. That is the top half and the TV portion of the Sharp NES TV. That is my hay fever. What's left is to unscrew the 8 screws on top of here. Then underneath there's the metal shield, which contains 11 screws, and then you're pretty much down to your standard game tray and pin connector. So let's get to it. Okay guys, now this part should just lift off. If I did it correctly. Which it seems like I did. It's actually not as dirty as I thought it'd be under here. However, this has seen better days. So we can take our wires, gently put them out of the way, and what we are left with are these screws here. There should be 11 around, I believe it's the RF shield. And you should be able to take those out no problem with your screwdriver. I might need to change up the screwdriver tips. Let's see. No, perfect. These are just a different style screw tip, or the head. Well, that's actually a bit misleading. The round tip of the part of the screw and the length of the screw are different than the ones that you would that we have seen throughout the teardown. These are shorter, so it's best to keep these in a separate spot so you don't confuse them or lose them. So we're going to stick them here. Oh shit! I've been missing one of these. I thought I'd have to have it like printed. Oh my gosh, this is such a pleasant surprise. Holy shit, yay! My uncle wasn't a complete animal and destroyed them. I just gotta fix them. Hopefully I can find the other one. This would make me so happy, guys. Like, you have no idea. This made my fucking week. Oh my god. That's all the screws, everyone. At least for the RF shield. I might take some CLR to that later on, which is perfect. I've been meaning to show you guys the magic of that. So that'll be in another video. But here it is. This is your simple setup. This is your tray. You insert it through here. Push it down. And that's it. It's actually one of my only games that are surviving after some cunt decided to steal my entire NES, PlayStation 1, and PlayStation 2 library of games from my father's house. But yeah, this is another reason why I just get flashcards, guys. People like that are the reason you can never have anything nice. But now, to get to the main reason I'm doing this, I want to remove this tray and remove the pin connector that's in here so I can refurbish it. Because at the moment it's way too loose, it's not reading games, and it's pissing me off. So, I don't want to break the TV, so the best way to do this is to make it like new. And we're going to remove a couple more screws. I think it's 6, at least it was on the other NESs. And it looks to be the same with this one. So we're going to remove 6 screws, 2 here, and then 1 on each side there. They should be similar size to the other screws, however, I'm going to keep them in a separate container just in case. Alternatively, you can always install a blinking light win. However, I'm trying to keep this unit as original as possible. Granted, I'll be putting 3D printed pieces on here soon for the game door and the control door. However, and possibly one of those other buttons that I found here. However, the whole point of this was to keep it as original as possible with pieces like the pin connectors and such. So that's the last pin, or the last pin, the last screw keeping the tray in. So you can just slide it out. I'm going to give this a good cleaning because I'm not going to put a dirty piece back in if I'm going to refurbish the pins. Next, you're going to lift this up. And gently remove it. Might take a bit of coaxing, as this has been in here for frickin' ever. There we go. And there's your pin connector, everybody. All this work, all this headache for this piece. But the end result will be worth it. Okay, guys, now I'm going to fire it up for you so you can see this thing in action. Check it out. First time, no trouble. And since I'm going to be doing this one-handed, let's do a game that I can play a bit better one-handed. damn it. Don't you laugh at me. Ah! Usually I score perfect on this. It's because I'm trying to record. Ah, fuck you. I totally hit that. I'm determined to get a perfect score.
2 hours later.
Alright guys, looks like I'm not getting this perfect score anytime soon. I'm gonna cut it off here. You get the idea. The Sharp NES TV teardown was a success. And fuck you, dog, shut up. So yeah, till next time guys, take care.